This is your place for everything you need to know about Lake Forest football, soccer, and more. Now it's time for your host of the Lake Forest College Sports Zone, Cam McGuire.
Hey Forester fans, glad to have you tuning in for the first episode of Lake Forest College Sports Zone. I'm your host, Cam McGuire, and the 2018-2019 school year has officially begun, and that means it's time for the fall sports teams to get into action. We'll start with the football team first. They finished 8-2 last season, the second straight season that they finished with that record. Well, last Saturday they hosted Wisconsin Lutheran to kickstart the season, and let's head over to the field and see how they did. This one was loaded with offense, and we head to the second quarter with the Foresters and Warriors tied up at 7 apiece. On 3rd and 4 at Wisconsin Lutheran's 5-yard line, Jagan Cleary would connect with John Rawl in the end zone for Rawl's first touchdown as a Forester. Lake Forest would increase their 14-7 lead when the only turnover of the game for Wisconsin Lutheran came with just under 5 minutes to play in the first half when Patrick Matheson was picked off by Taylor Freitas, in which Freitas' first collegiate interception would turn into his first collegiate touchdown, taking it 45 yards into the end zone and giving the Foresters a 21-7 lead with just 3:44 left in the first half. Wisconsin Lutheran was able to answer right back, picking up a huge touchdown of their own with just 4 seconds to play in the first half when Matheson recorded his first passing touchdown of the afternoon, finding Dan DeYoung in the middle of the end zone for a 6-yard connection. Down by just 1 touchdown after the first half, the Warriors came out guns blazing to start half number 2 as they were able to force and recover a fumble on the opening kickoff. They took over on the Lake Forest 27-yard line and wasted no time as Matheson found a wide-open Nick Charles crowd just steps in front of the end zone to even the score up at 21 apiece. After Michael Bounds tacked on a 32-yard field goal, giving Lake Forest a 24-21 lead with 10-11 to go in quarter number 3, the Warriors would take their second lead of the game on their next possession. A 79-yard drive was capped off with a 16-yard touchdown pass from Matheson to Alan Jackson down the right side of the sideline for his third touchdown pass of the contest, making the score in favor of the Warriors 27-24. But the Foresters, well, they would answer on the next drive as Alex Adams would finish a 14-play drive out with his first touchdown of the day, giving the lead back to the Foresters, this time 31-27 with 13 seconds left in the third frame. Just 2:20 to go in the final quarter. Oh yeah, Cleary and Raw would connect for the second time in the end zone, giving Lake Forest an 11-point lead. Despite a field goal from the Warriors late in the game, Lake Forest would hang on with a 38-30 win. Well, this game was offensive eruption. A combined 68 points, obviously 38 of those going for the Foresters. Let's take a look right now by the numbers. As we mentioned, offense was a huge part of the game, not only in the score, but also in the yardage. A total of 815 yards, in which the Foresters accounted for 428 of those. But what really sticks out to me is Lake Forest's situational play. They were 9 of 15 on third down and 2 of 3 on fourth down conversions. Absolutely phenomenal. And then we head over to the defensive side of the ball. Johnny LaPonte led the way with 9 total tackles. One of those an excruciating hit, as you see right here. Boom, he flips over running back Isaiah Butler. Not only 9 tackles, but he also added 1 sack. The wide receivers, well, it was a number of wide receivers getting it done for the Foresters, but it was John Rawl who really stuck out to me. The sophomore from Brentwood, Tennessee, only appeared in 3 games last season with no stats. Well, he went off on Saturday with 5 catches for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. The running game was a question mark heading into this season, and I don't think it is going to be after Saturday. The loss of Joey Valdivia, All-American due to graduation last year, while sophomore Alex Adams stepped up in the first game of the season, rushing for just over 100 yards and a touchdown of his own. The story of the game, however, came from senior quarterback Jagan Cleary, as Cleary entered this contest just 149 yards back of the school passing record as he trailed Don Lackey. And Jagan Cleary, a 300-yard day, was able to accomplish the feat and overtake the mark, as we had a chance to sit down with Jagan earlier this week and hear from the senior quarterback. Cam McGuire here with Jagan Cleary, senior quarterback for the Foresters football team. Jagan, first of all, congratulations this past weekend.
Thank you.
So you became the all-time school leader in passing yards. When did you find out, and kind of when did you know that it had happened?
Yeah, so I heard that they made an announcement during the game about it. I didn't hear the announcement just because everything rolling through my head and everything. When I found out it was during the game, second quarter, the freshman quarterback, actually Robbie Mills, said congrats to me. So that was kind of the first time I heard about it.
It was another successful game for you, 300-yard game, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them in the air, 1 on the ground. Talk about your development since your freshman year.
Yeah, I think my biggest part is just becoming more dedicated over time. I think just really studying the playbook, having a grasp of the playbook, more of those one-on-one meetings with the coaches and things of that sort. That's definitely helped me get to where I am today.
Go back to the records. You have your name written in a lot of them. There's going to be probably one more to come. You're just 5 touchdown passes away from becoming the school's all-time leader in touchdown passes. What does it mean to be in the record books with so many great players and such a historic franchise here at Lake Forest College?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. You think about how long this football program's been around in the school, and I actually know a lot of the alumni quarterbacks at the school. One of them, Pete Scafidi. So it's pretty cool just to hear my name in the same caliber as those guys.
Look ahead to this weekend, Saturday. It's going to be a tough task. You guys are playing North Central College, a school down from Naperville, Illinois. They're ranked 7th right now in the Division III poll. What do you guys know about them, and what's it going to take for a victory this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I know we all know we're competing against a good team this week, but I think we just got to treat it like another game. We got to come out firing, definitely have our head on a swivel the whole game. But I think as long as we just play our game, kind of just develop the task at hand and just really come out with a bang, I think we'll do all right.
All right, Jagan, thanks so much. Once again, congratulations and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Foresters will host the number 7 ranked team in the country in North Central College on Saturday. Last time these two teams met, well, you got a date all the way back to 1971 when the Foresters came out on a losing end 37-22. Well, we'll flip the page here and head to soccer, and we'll start out with the women's soccer team. They finished just 7-8-2 last season. It was the first time they had a losing record since the 2011 season. It was the first time they did not compete in the MWC playoffs. And for Lake Forest, a disappointing loss last Friday, 5-0 on the road in Indiana at Rose-Hulman. And then the next day they would follow up also in the state of Indiana, a 3-1 win over St. Mary's Woods. And then on Tuesday night, well, they headed to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for their 3rd straight game on the road to face Wisconsin Lutheran. And it was a 4-2 win for the women's soccer team, highlighted by freshman Julia Larson, who not only picked up her first goal as a Forester, but she added on a hat trick. We'll hear from Julia Larson coming up right here. Cam McGuire here with freshman Julia Larson, midfielder of the women's soccer team. Julia, hat trick last night in a 4-2 win against Wisconsin Lutheran. Can you walk us through all 3 of those, and was there maybe one that stuck out more than the other 2?
Yeah, I think the first goal for me stuck out the most because it was my first goal as a Forester, and I just had a mindset. I was I really want to score today, and so I came out right away. The first goal was a beautiful pass by Maria, and I just kind of one-touched it in by the goalie. Their defense was kind of behind, and so we just got a one-touch goal in. And then the second goal was also in the first half, and the defense, because of how wet the field was, kind of slipped up. And so I just another one touch in the back of the net because of a mistake they made. And then the third goal was in the second half. We were all pretty tired, but we had just come off another goal from Morgan, and I just told myself, I was I really want to put it in one more time. And it came off of Charlotte's shot, kind of rebounded in the middle of the box, and then I put it back for the last one.
You guys are currently 3-1 right now. You started off the season with a loss, but since then it's been 3 straight wins. It's got to feel pretty good. What's the vibe like in the locker room?
I think that everyone's really excited for this season, especially the seniors. They've been getting us pumped up. It's their last season. They have been encouraging us, and especially for us freshmen coming in, we're all really excited. I think that there's a really great positive attitude in the locker room.
Talk about the different classes. Yourself, you're a freshman. What's been the biggest adjustment switching over from high school to collegiate ball?
I think the biggest difference would just be the pace of the play. I think high school you could mess around a little. I think at college level it's definitely more serious. Everyone has that goal to win and also to have fun, but I think there's a lot more pressure on kind of going out and performing the best you can.
So you guys have had 4 games so far this season, but none of them have been at home. You guys will play at home on Friday against Concordia Chicago. So you haven't played a game yet at Farwell Field. What are you looking forward to most?
I'm really excited to play on the field. I think we've only had a few trainings on that field, and just the energy I get being on the turf and being in such a great location, I'm really excited to get out there and play.
All right, Julia, once again, congrats on the hat trick and good luck Friday.
Thank you.
Well, Julia Larson was able to accomplish a feat that hadn't been done by a women's soccer player since 2012 when Michelle Greenway recorded a hat trick as a freshman. We saw the career that Michelle Greenway went to have an All-American and 104 career goals. The women's soccer team will host Concordia Chicago today in the home opener of the season for them at 4:30 at Farwell Field. That's how the women's soccer team has done. Let's take a look at the men's soccer team. Well, they're perfect so far this season, 3-0. Dan Andrews back for his fourth season as the head coach. He's taken the Foresters to 2 NCAA tournaments. And the men's soccer team, well, they opened play last Friday at home against Concordia Chicago, a 5-0 win, and then they would follow up the next day against Westminster College, a 3-1 win for the Foresters. And then on Wednesday night, they went all the way to Waukesha, Wisconsin to take on Carroll College. And let's show you the highlights of that game versus Carroll. We fast forward to the 42nd minute with a scoreless game between the Foresters and the Pioneers. Griffin Mitchell, working his way down the left side of the field, sends one on net, and the goaltender can't control it. And the freshman Eric Truitt is there to tap in the loose change to give the Foresters a 1-0 lead. It will be Truitt's second goal of the season. Advantage still to Lake Forest, 1-0 in the 69th minute to play. And who else would it be? Lucas Geib centers one in front of the net, just in front of Sal Gloria. It bounces off the Pioneer defender. Back to Gloria, who finds Geib streaking. And while filing down, Geib buries this one top cheese, giving the Foresters a 2-0 lead, which would end up being the final. And the Lake Forest College soccer team is 3-0. Well, earlier this week, junior forward Lucas Geib was named MWC Offensive Performer of the Week, and he was also awarded Division III Player of the Week by the United Coaches of America. We had a chance to sit down with Lucas Geib, who already has 5 goals on the season in 3 games, highlighted by a hat trick against Concordia Chicago. Cam McGuire here with Lucas Geib of the men's soccer team. Lucas, you guys are off to a fantastic start. You guys are 2-0. First game of the season, a 5-0 win over Concordia Chicago. You had a hat trick. Describe all 3 of those goals.
Yeah, well, the first one, Alex found the ball, was dribbling down the sideline, and whipped a great ball in. I was in the middle of the box, did what I could to redirect the ball on frame, and found the back of the net. Second one, Alex again played a great through ball into me, and all I had to do was beat the goalie, rounded him, and pass it in the back of the net. And the third one's a penalty, and penalties are always pretty nervy, but had the nerves to send the goalie the wrong way and put it right down the middle.
And if 3 wasn't enough, well, not only was it another win for the team, a 3-1 win over Westminster this past Sunday, but another goal for you. Was that just as pretty as the previous 3?
I wish. That one, the ball was bobbling around in the middle of the box. Found it, collected myself, and slid it past the goalie.
Still in non-conference play. You guys will play Carroll on Wednesday, but talk about how big these non-conference games are, because you guys have made the NCAA tournament a couple times in the last handful of years, so the non-conference schedule is crucial as the committee looks at those non-conference games.
Right, yeah. Winning those non-conference games is huge because, like you said, the seeding process, you can win as much as you can, you'll get a better seed, you'll get an easier first round, and that's really what we're shooting for.
Last couple of years, the start of the season for the soccer team hasn't gone as planned, but a 2-0 start obviously right now. How big is it to be off to such a great start?
Yeah, it's great. Just having that energy in the locker room, having that momentum going forward, it's just unbelievable.
Lake Forest will look to stay perfect this weekend. They host St. Thomas on Saturday at home and then Benedictine on Sunday, trying to go to 5-0 on the season. Well, the men's golf team is coming off of an MWC Conference Championship last season. They graduated 5 seniors, so the roster going to look a little different this season. We went out to Lake Bluff Golf Course and had a talk with head coach Brian Bruja earlier this week. Coach, a big season last year, a conference championship. What can you expect, and what are the expectations this season?
The 2018-19 Foresters are primed for a lot of success. I have high expectation for this group, including a conference championship and returning to the NCAA tournament.
Trials just wrapped up this past weekend. What can we expect on the roster side? 4 seniors graduated last year. So who are you looking to step up this year? A couple of newcomers maybe?
We have 10 people on the roster. 5 of those are seniors. Of the returners, I expect our top 4 to remain pretty consistent, and we've got a rotating spot available. A couple newcomers, a couple underclassmen, all can vie for that spot.
The first tournament this weekend starting Friday and then into Saturday as well. Carthage is hosting this one in West Dundee, Illinois. What are you expecting this weekend from your guys?
With a smaller tournament field, being 16 teams for this tournament, I feel we can definitely be in the top 4 and even contend for the title.
That's all the action we have for you from this week at Lake Forest College. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to support the Foresters all season long by coming out to contests here at campus. You can go to goforesters.com for everything you need to know about Lake Forest College athletics. For myself, Cam McGuire, so long, and as always, go Foresters.